Hello and welcome to Gena Moon. This is your new weekly tarot reading. Without further ado, let's jump right into your reading. Remember that this is a general reading, so take it how it resonates. Take whatever resonates and leave what doesn't. If you would like to watch the link to the extended or if you would like to book a personal reading, I've been getting a lot of inquiries on personal readings. You can find both links to the extended and personal readings down in the description box below. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into your reading. What's going on for you this week? Now, quick reminder for those of you guys who have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel because it really helps support me and the channel. And of course, if you do enjoy these readings, give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Thanks so much for your support. All right, let's go ahead and first start off with your dominant energy with this other deck, and you are starting with the dominant energy of the drum roll. All right, let's see what you have here. In separation, what is going on here? Okay, so let's see. It says in separation with the number 4. If you see the number 4, 444, 404 anywhere, then that is indication where something here is actually on a very stable foundation. Even though you might feel like, oh my God, what's going to happen? You know, this is separating me from that person, or you're separating yourself from a job, from a career, from a dynamic that perhaps you used to be a part of and no longer. Whatever it is that you're in separation of or will be becoming whatever is in separation from you, you're actually on a very stable foundation. I feel like something here is actually very stable and very grounded. This is also about putting in hard work, hard effort. You've already put in the work, all the effort, and something here is actually very firm and stable, even though right now it may not appear that way. So as you can see in this particular image, there's a woman and she is holding a broken heart. So she looks very sad, depressed, in separation. She's definitely not happy right now. So let's see what this is all about. In separation, someone runs away. Honeymoon phase is over and it ends. Insecurities and attachment issues begin to appear, causing a rift in this relationship. Now, this can be any kind of relationship. This can be in your career relationships. This can be in a friend dynamic. It could be in your love life. This can be with a family member, with a friend, whatever this is. But there is some kind of separation happening or will be happening soon where somebody ends up running away instead of facing the issue, instead of trying to fix the problem, they just run away. Honeymoon phase is over. That means that, relationships go through different phases, right? The first phase of a relationship is called the honeymoon phase, where everything is like a honeymoon, right? Everything is picture perfect. Why? Because you don't really know much about that person. That person doesn't really know much about you. And so you're trying to show up as the best version of you. That person is doing the same. And so, you may see little red flags here and there, but you may just kind of brush them off and ignore them because you're in the honeymoon phase. You're enjoying, that experience. Okay. The beginning stages of that relationship, job, career, whatever this is. This could be the beginning stages of the job that are now over, and you're like, oh God, now I have to deal with all the responsibilities, now this, that. And so it's like the headache is now coming in. Okay. So insecurities, attachment issues begin to appear, causing a rift in this situation or relationship. So, insecurities are starting to bubble up to the surface. Attachment issues as well. Okay, whatever that means for you, begin to appear, and this is causing, problems in the connection. So I'm taking a pause right now. I need to separate myself from you in order to work on my mind and my soul. This is only temporary, and I will eventually find my way back to you. So if this is you towards someone, or someone here towards you, you take the reading how it resonates, but this is your reading. So let's say, for example, this is you, okay? And if this person, you are separating yourself from them, you might be going through the energy of heartbreak, like sadness. Yeah, this is not something to be happy about. But eventually you feel like you're going to find your way back to that person, or you will make amends, or for the time being, you don't really know maybe if you will or if you won't. But for this moment right now, somebody feels like they need to work on themselves, their mind, their soul, reconnect with the essence of who they are. Okay, because somebody here might feel like they've lost themselves, they've lost sight of, what they're doing, of their goals, that kind of thing. And so right now there's a pause happening in the situation, needing space, needing to separate, to work on yourself, or this person to work on themselves. Okay. And it says here, for a lot of you, it's temporary, and this person will eventually find their way back to you. And, or if this is you making this decision, you feel like you will eventually find your way back to this person, but for the time being, you need that separation. Okay. You take the reading how it resonates. Let me know in the comments below. Now I see here the 9 of Wands reverse. Wow. So it goes hand in hand with that energy, right? This is the energy of giving up. This is the energy of, you know what? I don't have it in me to fight for this right now. I don't have it in me to continue on the same direction. This is the energy here of giving up, giving in, saying, you know what? I surrender. I just can't continue like this anymore, right? That kind of deal. Again, this could be in a job, career, family, friends, love, whatever this is. Now with the 5 of Cups here, yeah, this is sad. I mean, this is some kind of attachment issues, because you were attached to that person, you were attached to that career, you were attached to that place, you were attached to that environment. There is attachments there, of course. We all have attachments to things, people, situations, circumstances. And so right now it's a little sad. It's that energy of regret. It's the energy of the 5 of Cups of, oh well, my God, I'm a failure. I did this wrong, and I could have, would have, should have done this instead. And why didn't I do this instead? And it could have, would have, should have. It doesn't exist anymore. Okay. All you can do is pick yourself back up. And this man here, yeah, he looks sad. He's wearing all black, right? It's almost as if he is mourning the death of something. And with the 2 cups behind him is what he's not seeing. He's not seeing the fact that there are still 2 other ways of getting what he wants. There's still 2 cups that are left behind him that are not tilted over like these other 3. And so, yeah, maybe these were all trials, right? Cup number 1, cup number 2, cup number 3. These were all trials that did not work out. I tried it this way, it didn't work. I tried it that other way. Oh, that didn't work either. Oh, and this didn't work, right? So, oh gosh, I'm a failure. That is what he's thinking, but he's not really realizing that there's still 2 other ways of doing things. There's still 2 other opportunities. There's still 2 other doors that are opening up for him. But this person is so focused on the negative that he's not able to see the opportunities that are behind him, that are like right there next to him, right? So this is just a reminder for you. Don't focus on the negative. Don't see this as a failure, okay? Because this is only different ways that did not work out. These are just different ways that you went about doing things that did not work out, but eventually you're going to find one that does, okay? So again, this is all about learning lessons. How are you growing from this experience? And don't focus so much on the negative. Take the lessons with you. Of course, this is easier said than done, okay? But there's still, like I said, 2 cups right next to that man, which is opportunities, okay? Now, the Empress here, this is in your challenge position. So part of the challenge right now for you has to do with the fact that you feel like there's a lack of growth. You're like, okay, wait a minute. This is not growing. Nothing is happening. Nothing is like, I don't feel like I'm making progress, whether it's in your job, in your career, in a project you're working on. It could be in, relationship. It could be in everything or other areas of your life. There's something here that is stuck and you're like, the more that I give to it, the more that I try, it's just not growing. Like there's a lack of growth. I see that also part of the challenge is somebody here feeling challenged with, it's like right now someone is not too in tune with being caring and understanding. Okay, right now somebody here is way disconnected from their feminine energy. Right now somebody might be very pushy, very aggressive, very mean-spirited, right? Not understanding, not being kind of compassionate, a lack of compassion there. That could be also it for some of you guys, whether this is you, because what you're going through right now, or somebody here that you are dealing with. But there's a lack of growth right now also. You're not sure how to figure out a way to help this grow, make this grow. Will this ever grow? Now, with the 8 of Wands here, this is your desires. In your desires, I see here that you do want things to move forward. You're like, my gosh, my only wish and desire is for things to start moving along quickly. I want this to move forward. right? Fast. It's like this energy here where you're just kind of like waiting, anticipating, like, I want positive movement forward. When is this positive movement forward going to happen? I want the lines of communication to start happening. I want to start taking action, right? You want things to start moving forward in your life, and you feel like nothing is moving forward right now. Now, I'm also seeing here that there could be plans for travel. You want to travel more. You want to do more things, right? Take action. You desire to really kind of get momentum going in some kind of situation. Now, with the Four of Swords here, this is the root of the issue. So the root of the issue is pertaining to the fact that somebody here is not really feeling like they can take action right now, right? The root of the issue is that someone here is not really doing anything about this. It's like resting in your laurels, right? Resting too much, thinking too much, overthinking too much. It could be for some of you guys, somebody here doesn't feel well, right? They don't feel physically well. You might feel exhausted, kind of like not wanting to take action anymore, or this person towards you. But the root of the issue here has to do with a person who has not really taken action. They've been, not really doing much, or feeling like they can't do much right now about the situation. There could be a need for healing as well, a need for introspection, that kind of deal. Now, I'm seeing here that in the recent past, the Two of Swords here in the recent past, you felt like a little bit stuck, right? You felt a little bit stuck, like, what do? I don't know what to do. You were going through mental conflict, mental anguish, overthinking a situation. Should I do this or should I do that? Should I, go about it this way or go about it that way? And I feel like there was a lot of indecision that happened in the recent past. And part of the reason why you went through a lot of mental conflict and it was a drain in your energies, it was because you were in denial about something. I feel like you had the blindfold on purpose. It's like, it's not easy for us as humans to be honest with ourselves and look in the mirror and say, you know what, this is the reality of the situation and this is what I'm going to do. And I feel like that was part of the issue here in the recent past. The fact that somebody here, it was difficult for somebody to see the reality of the situation or to be honest with themselves, okay? Now, it could be that there was a blame game here where, whoever was in denial was pointing the finger at the other person. Well, this is happening because of you, because of this, because of that. But in reality, it's like, no. You've got the answer in your hand, right? This person here has the answer in their hand, which is the sword. The sword is a representation of truth, okay? Of communication, of cutting off that blindfold of denial yourself. Nobody can come and rescue you for you or do it for you but you. Now, in the position of who and what is coming towards you that you don't see coming, is a Nine of Swords. So that's the energy here of a lot of sleepless nights. Okay, you don't see this coming. You might be going through paranoia. Oh my God, what if this ends up happening? What if I made the wrong decision? What if I need to do this instead of that, right? Paranoia, sleepless nights, doubts, fears, insecurities, just kind of like, overwhelming you, really. And so this is going to be a moment here where you need to stop yourself and say, you know what, I need to snap out of it. Okay, this is going to be more so of a wake-up call, because again, whatever it is that you focus on, whatever it is that you think about, that's what you will attract, right? Because the Nine of Swords is all about kind of like victimhood mentality. If there is drama in your life, if there is a problem in your life, or some kind of a personal matter that's happening in your life, or whatever it is that you're dealing with that, is keeping you up at night, there's something that is resonating with you, okay? With regards to you being misaligned, okay? I feel like there's some kind of misalignment coming into the near future where you have to use that energy to kind of like snap yourself out of it. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you, putting yourself through this headache? Okay, why are you putting yourself through this anguish when you don't have to? It's kind of like what is that word? It's like fulfilling prophecies, right? Like you're kind of thinking about the worst case scenario. The more that you think about it, the more that you are going to actually attract it. So you've got to be careful, where that mind of yours or emotions of yours tend to go in? Okay, what direction are they going in? Because you still get to choose how you will experience this in the near future. You still get to choose this experience, okay? Now, I see here that in your subconscious thoughts, your subconscious thoughts is the energy that is underlying the entire reading that you may or may not be aware of, okay? Which means for you that these subconscious thoughts are playing a huge role in how you take action, what you do, what you don't do, what you say, but they're in your subconscious, right? I see that you actually do want something stable. You want stability in your life. You want commitment in your life. You want a person who is loyal to you. You want, a long-term connection. You want abundance. You want money. You want stability, right? You want all this stuff that is, related to stability, to feeling grounded, okay? You want this. You want a relationship that is based on something real, something practical, okay? Something tangible that you can build upon. And of course, there's a pentacle there. I feel like subconsciously speaking, you do want to either offer this to someone, or you want to create it for yourself. I feel like the reason why something here isn't growing right now is because there's something in your subconscious thoughts that is still needing to stabilize itself, whether it's your emotions needing stability, your finances needing stability, a person in your life that needs to show you stability, whatever that is for you, or you committing to something in order to stabilize yourself as well. Now, I see here that with the Queen of Cups, this is how somebody sees you. Somebody has a lot of love for you, and I feel like this person, feels that you are very kind. You are very, kind of very understanding, very compassionate. I'm sensing that this person, is, they kind of see you in a very good light, okay? Again, kindness, generosity, that energy of compassion, that kind of vibe. They see you as that. Now, again, also, they have love for you, and they see that you do, act with love. Now, with the Five of Pentacles, this is your action advice. Again, Pentacle energy, money. For some of you guys, this could be money related. So your action advice is to ask for help, okay? These two guys are outside in the cold weather. It's snowing outside, and they're walking, by a church, but they're not realizing that there's help for them in there. They could stay in that church and ask, hey, you know what, can we stay here for just a couple nights until, who knows, maybe the snowstorm, kind of goes away or whatever, right? But this is the energy here of you needing to ask for help, because the Five of Pentacles is all about, maybe right now you're focused in on what you don't have, right? This is the lack mentality. This is feeling not good enough, feeling like you don't have enough, feeling like you're not supported enough, like there's no help for you out there. And I feel like this is all negative, right? This is all a very dark card. See how there's darkness all around this card. It's instead of a blue sky or, a yellow sun or whatever. But I feel that, there's something here related to you also working on your subconscious triggers, okay? And also on your subconscious traumas that still have a hold on you. I feel that this is you taking action towards your life, towards something, and asking for the help that you need. If you need help financially, if you need help direction-wise, hey, you know what, I need to be redirected in life. I need direction in life. Maybe, you feel ashamed that you need to ask for help, but this is nothing to be ashamed of. And also working through fears and insecurities that perhaps you still have that are underlying your actions that you may not be aware of, like traumas from the past, or fear of losing out on something, fear of not having enough, fear of not being enough, fear, all of these insecurities, fear of abandonment, fear of being left out in the cold, fear of losing it all, right? This is the Five of Pentacles energy. And so you need to take action towards overcoming those fears? How will you overcome those fears? Because I feel like right now you are letting those fears control your life. You are letting those fears control and make decisions for you. When you allow your fears and your doubts and your insecurities to make decisions for you in your life, it's almost as if you give them life, and they transform into like this monster, right? And it's like, you need to take your power back from these fears, from these, negative self-talk, okay? Because again, the more that you feed them, the more that you pay attention to them, the more that you listen to them, the more real that they become, right? And so this is something here that you need to work through. Now, I'm also seeing here that with the Three of Swords, yeah, there's going to be heartbreak. I feel like, again, some of you guys are going through separation, and this is for a reason. Again, the Three of Swords is looked at, of course, as a heartbreak. Okay, this could be a breakup, a separation, some kind of painful experience that you are currently going through. But what people don't realize is, don't focus on the pain. Don't focus on why this is making you sad. Focus instead on the lessons. Focus instead on, what is it that this is teaching you? What is it that you're learning? How is this making you stronger? I feel like right now we live in a society where, yeah, when you go to therapy, when you go to see a psychotherapist, a psychologist, I feel like right now what's trending is to, be okay with being a victim. And I'm not saying that there are no victims, sure, yes. But, when we're talking about spirituality, this is about you asking the question, if there were no victims, if you couldn't be a victim in your life, okay, if that did not exist, right, that idea of you cannot be a victim in your life, that's part of the game, right? Let's just say that's part of your game in life right now. Okay, if you could not be a victim in life, then what would you do right now? If there was no fear in your life, then what would you do differently? How would you be differently? How would you show up in the world differently? If there was no fear, if there was no insecurity, if there was no doubt, right? If you could not be a victim, if you were only here to be, the victor and in who you were meant to be in this lifetime. So think about it that way, right? And ask yourself those questions, get those answers. And I feel like this is what's going to slowly start moving you towards healing. It's going to start moving you towards enlightenment. It's going to start moving you towards a new direction. Now let's go ahead and get a final message here for you before we go into your extended reading. And in the extended is where we dive deeper into this entire reading, the other person's energy, all that good stuff, okay? But let's go ahead and get a final message here for you. All right, so here we have, don't dim to fit in. So it says here, don't dim your light in order to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? I feel like this has to do for a lot of you guys, whether it's in your job, in your career, right? You don't want to be looked upon in a certain way, or you don't want to gossip to start, So how is it that you are dimming your light in order to fit in, and therefore nothing is happening, nothing is growing? Why? Because you are trying to fit in with the rest of the group of people. It's like, I feel like, especially for your particular sign, right? For your particular sign, you are meant to be a trailblazer. You are meant to be a pioneer. You are meant to be, that person, that energy that shows up, that brings in this new idea, or yes, it's going to rock the boat. It's going to make people think that you're weird and crazy and, oh, why are you not, like us? Because that's not what you are meant to do in this lifetime. Again, people from your sign are typically, the ones that bring in that newness, okay? And even though people will talk, people will judge, people will whatever, right? I mean, Disneyland did not become Disneyland just because, right? Walt Disney, he was a very unique person, okay? He thought about things very differently. In fact, his first few jobs, they let him go because his ideas were just so out there. But he didn't care. He continued on and he continued on and he continued on. Now look at Disney. I mean, everybody wants to go to the happiest place on earth, right? That's just a brief example. But let's go ahead and read a little bit on this one. It says here, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Okay, and see this woman, she's covering her eyes. It's almost as if, again, the denial, right? The denial is there. How is it that you are putting that blindfold over your eyes, expecting a different result, expecting your life to go differently when you're not seeing yourself as you are? You're not seeing life itself as it is, right? I feel that you're kind of like just trying to like dim your light, trying to be small, play small, you know, and if you keep doing that, again, these things are going to continue to happen. Okay, again, this could be in your career, this could be in your love life, this could be in any whatever area of your life this is. But let's see what this says. Don't dim to fit in. I wish these had numbers so that I could easily find them, but they don't. So let's go ahead and oh, here we go. Okay, so don't dim to fit in. So don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness or other people's smallness, right? Like, let's say, for example, if you're, you know, at work and you have all these ideas, and I feel like this is particularly for people of your sign, it's very common. Okay, you have all these ideas and you don't really want to be yourself. You feel like you can't be yourself because, oh, well, I have to keep it, you know, proper. I have to keep things in alignment with the way things have been, right? So it says here, don't dim your light to accommodate other people or other people's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding and you are part of the universe. So expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to retract, notice, and slowly back away, they are not for you and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close according to who is walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless of who walks by. If others don't want to be around you or make them uncomfortable, it's because you are shining light on the fact that they are dimming to fit in. By choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn on their light too, or not. Keep your light on anyway. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. That is completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last in your life, whether it's family, love, career, they will adapt to change in energy. Others won't because they were likely born under the proviso of, I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. And that's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. So work on your light inquiry. Ask yourself, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? In what area of your life is this happening? This is what I have for you. Thanks for watching. And now let's jump right into the extended. And in the extended is where we dive deeper into the situation, into the other person's subconscious thoughts about you, their deeper feelings, emotions for you, their next moves, actions towards you, how this entire situation is all going to develop and turn out for you. And we're going to go ahead and get a final message from source. Okay, so that final message will tie everything up for you. If you want to watch a link to the extended, you can watch that link to the extended down in the description box below. You will find that link. For any personal readings, also you can find the link to my personal readings down in the description box below. And check out all of your monthly readings, your mid-monthly readings, all of your last week's readings, blessings readings, love readings. You can find all of those links to your sign down in the first comment that I pinned down below as well. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment down below. Take very good care of yourselves, and until next time, bye-bye. And right now, all of my personal readings are $20 off using the special discount code GOODLUCK20. You can check the personal reading link down in the description box below. In the extended reading, I go into the other person's subconsciousness, their deeper thoughts about you, their deeper feelings for you, their next actions, moves, and more. And thank you all so much for all of your positive feedback for the extended reading. I am so glad that you guys are loving the extended reading so much. So again, if you want to check out the link to the extended, the link is down in the description box below. And check out my website at genamoon.com. Click on shop. I do have new jewelry pieces, rings, bracelets, crystals, necklaces, and so much more for both men and women. So check that out at genamoon.com and click on shop, and follow me on Instagram at Gena Moon Official, as I will be posting more on there.